If, in fact, what the Russians were alleging, that Hillary was trying to highlight the reported connections between Trump and the Russians, if, in fact, that was accurate, and that's a big if, there is nothing at all illegal about that.
That is former CIA Director John Brennan responding to the declassification of a heavily redacted memo President Trump's supporters say shows that high-ranking Obama administration officials concocted a scheme to vilify him by connecting him to Russia, or that they knew about Hillary's plans to do so. Tonight, the president says we should expect more declassified documents. Let's bring in Democratic strategist Kevin Walling and author of the new book, Defender-in-Chief Donald Trump's Fight for Presidential Power, John Yoo. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Shannon.
Hey, Shannon. Good evening.
Okay, so as to some of these documents and things that we saw the rollout, the beginning of some of these last week, here is Hillary Clinton responding to the revelations.
It is a sign of such desperation by the Republicans, and it also is a reminder that Donald Trump knows that the Russians helped him win in 2016.
What do you make of it, John?
That doesn't make sense to me because the documents that were actually declassified were by a CIA director appointed by a Democratic president talking about him briefing the Democratic president himself. So these are not documents created by Republican operatives. And I think actually I have to disagree with what I heard Director Brennan say on the clip. This actually is a very serious problem because there's either two choices here. Either the FBI and the CIA got snookered into conducting an investigation of a presidential campaign by the opposition party because they were fooled, or, and this is I hope this is not true, or these notes suggest that it was actually an effort to help the campaign of their own political party because Hillary Clinton's campaign was actually the one that came up with the idea and injected it into the law enforcement process. That potentially is illegal. That's an abuse of FISA. That's actually even a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
All right, well, here's what a source told Fox about this. It says this is not Russian disinformation. Even Brennan knew, or he wouldn't be briefing the President of the United States on it. There is a high threshold to orally brief the President of the United States, and he clearly felt that this met that threshold. What does it say to you, Kevin, to know that there's what appears to be a document showing that the former CIA director did brief the President on this issue?
Yeah, Shannon, that's all we know at this point, right? That there was a briefing that took place. There was no collusion in the Oval Office by the Obama administration to carry any kind of activity like this out. But I think fundamentally the American people are not interested in relitigating the 2016 election. They're tired of the Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump election. What they're focusing on is 2020. We've seen nearly 5 million Americans already go to the polls. I'm one of them. And they're turning out not because of this Russian drama from 2016, but they're turning out because of COVID, because of the economic crisis, because this president sees the numbers both nationally and in these battleground states, and he wants to bring up Russia in 2016 again. This president has been in power for 4 years, has had access to these documents for 4 years. And what does it say to you and to the American people that he's releasing this under orders to the DNI just 4 weeks before the election? Of course, it's a politically motivated attack on the intelligence community and on Hillary Clinton and the 2016 campaign.
Okay, let me get to this, though, because it appears the president signed a directive last year. I think it was May of last year, where he talked about it's time to release these documents. I don't know about the timing, but of course people are going to ask questions when it's this close to the election. But very quickly, John, tonight, he tweeted out, there's much more to come on everything and no redactions. I mean, it's hard to read. We've put it up on the camera tonight on the screen. It's hard to read these because they're so heavily redacted. But John, what else do you think might be coming?
Oh, well, I expect there's a lot more. And one of the ways you can tell is because the Durham investigation is taking so long. It's not taking so long just because it takes a long time to have an investigation. It seems to be taking a long time because they're actually finding more and more material, and they're going higher and higher up the chain of command within the Obama administration. And so I expect you're going to see a lot more documents like this. Unfortunately, they might be redacted, but you'll start to see how the dots get connected as it gets closer and closer, I'm afraid, to President Obama, Vice President Biden, their national security advisor. And these are the people that we're going to be voting on this November because I expect Joe Biden would want to bring a lot of these people back into his new administration were he to win election.
Quick final word, Kevin.
Yeah, again, as I said, this is coming out 4 weeks to the election, 28 days. Over 5 million Americans have already gone to the polls. Again, I'm one of them. And again, they're voting on COVID, on the economic crisis. They don't care about relitigating 2016. We want full transparency, release all those documents, release them unredacted unless there's some issue with intelligence officials, assets, what have you in the field. But full transparency is always key for anything like this.
Well, there are plenty of people who haven't gotten over the 2016 election. They're not all on the same side. So a lot of people still interested in what happened there. And these investigations
There's a lot of Democrats, for sure.
Yeah, okay. Kevin and John, thank you both.